I'm in my zone, can't fail. Got my mindset on grade, like I am home, no doubt. Time to raise it too loud. I'm gonna light up the sky, gonna play it strong. 'Cause I've got that fire inside, lighting up my heart. No looking back, heaven knows. It's time to get up and go. Life passing by, can't go slow, no, no. We ride it once, then we're done. I'm gonna light up the sky, gonna play it strong. 'Cause I got that fire inside, lighting up my heart. Cause I've got that fire inside. I'm gonna light up the sky, gonna play it strong. 'Cause I got that fire inside, lighting up my heart. I'm gonna light up the sky, gonna play it strong. 'Cause I got that fire inside, lighting up my heart. I'm in my zone, can't fail. Got my mindset on grade, like I am home, no doubt. Time to raise it too loud. I'm gonna light up the sky, gonna play it strong. 'Cause I've got that fire inside, lighting up my heart. No looking back, heaven knows. It's time to get up and go. Life passing by, can't go slow, no, no. We ride it once, then we're done. I'm gonna light up the sky,
in this together, and we're more similar than we seem to sometimes be. We are very similar. We are all just trying to navigate this crazy and sometimes relentless world, and just realize that you're doing a heck of a lot better in this one and only life than you think you are. You're doing a good job, and one of the great ways to navigate this world and navigate this life is with your yoga. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is Piper. This is Bonnie. Oh my goodness, they're both wanting to be here today. And this is an hour-long practice. We're going to emphasize strength and mobility with an emphasis on your core today. It's an hour long, as I said, but if you can only stick around for 10 minutes, don't beat yourself up over it. 10 minutes is good. Just be glad for what you do. Be glad that you're here. You can do it. You can do it because you're going to modify it. Modify it and make it work for you. As the bottom of our screen says, you got to do what's right for your body. Everybody's body's different. Every day is different. Just move. Just move. I'd sum it up in those two words. Just move. Do a little or a lot. And you can use props to help you do that. But what I'd like you to think about is the word today, trust. Just trust yourself. Trust means confident expectation of something hopeful. You shouldn't be wagging your tail, right? Be confident. Have expectation of good things, and they will come, I promise. Just don't hurt yourself. Not everything's right for everybody. Modify with blocks. Blocks are a great prop to have. I've got 2 of them today. You might want to have those. Also, a strap if you want to have that, or a belt to your robe. That would work. Eye shade and towel, they always come in handy. In fact, the towel and or the strap have close by because we're going to use that when we begin. We're going to be seated today for most of the practice. There's a couple poses that'll challenge your balance if you want to do them, but I'll give you options. There's lots of options, lots of fun things to do today. All right, so come on down to a comfortable seated position. As you're getting here, lock in a stress number in your mind. How are you doing in your head today on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10? Maybe you got a bunch of stuff going on. Just calm down for a little bit, lock in that stress number, come to however is comfortable for you in your seated pose. However you like. You could be seated in a chair. Maybe that's the most comfortable way. All right, I'm going to sit in a Sukhasana pose. For Sukhasana pose, you've got your knees down, both knees generously bent. One foot, I'm going to bring my right foot up on top of my left knee, and I am going to take either my strap or my towel, have them handy, and my one block. Can you tell I'm a little distracted? All right, that's all right. I got to come into my mind. All right, place a block underneath the top knee, perhaps. Maybe that feels better for you. Hands on your knees. Let's take a moment here, close your eyes, and take several breaths on your own. Big breaths in through your nose. And big breaths out through your mouth. Sigh it out and let it all go. Nothing matters but your breath right here, right now, in this present moment. You've locked your stress number in. We'll come back to that in a bit. Shoulder softening, exhale. You're getting into some mobility in your hips here. If you don't like this pose, sit however is comfortable for you. Maybe you don't need the block. Totally good, totally fine. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. As you're ready, lift your arms on up high to the sky. Think of your extended mountain arms. Think of your shoulders. We're going to get into the shoulders in a bit. Breathe here, lengthen up. Interlace your fingers, send your palms high up to the sky, and just start to sway a little bit from side to side. Breathe, remember to breathe. Just little sways, and then come back to the midline of your body. Let the backs of your hands come down and touch your head. Squeeze your elbows to the back of the room. Lift and lower. Breathe. Just kind of push the palms up. Elbows open wide, wake up the shoulders, and then finish arms down by your sides. Reach, reach, reach to the front of your room. You could use a block here if you like that to bring the ground up to you. Just reach. Nice stretch in your hips, especially the right side if your right leg's on top. Maybe reach the block a little farther. Finish up, leave the block there, come on back up, place your hands behind your low back, a little bit of a kickstand, lift your chest up and your chin up. come back to the midline of your body. Go back to that block. Reach, stretch, find length. Maybe push the block a little farther even. Come on back up, shoulders over hips, hands behind your low back, chin up to the sky, stretch. Come back to the midline of your body. Both arms lift high to extended mountain. One arm comes down to the ground, other arm crosses the midline of your body overhead. Reach, reach, reach through your fingers. Use the elbow, to bring it on down even farther. Stretch. Keep your cheeks down on your mat, chin away from your chest, top shoulder back. Finish up. Come on up to the center. Do the other side. One hand plants, other arm lifts, crosses the midline of the body, chin away from the chest, top shoulder back, reach, reach, reach. Finish up, come back to center, both arms go up. Maybe the eyes remain closed. Bring that first hand down again and then reach to the side and reach. Come on back up, switch the arms, one arm down, other arm crosses the midline, stretch and reach in your side bend. Come on back up, midline of your body, hands on your knees, neck circles if they feel good for you. Perhaps you would prefer to just turn your head from left to right, or perhaps you would prefer to just lengthen up through the crown of your head, keeping the shoulders down and away from the ears. Move the neck however feels right for you today. Left, right, neck circles, shake it up. Embrace those little crunchies in your neck. As long as they don't hurt, you're all right. You know what feels right for you. Really try to turn the head. Really try to find a new depth of each pose. When you're ready, finish up, head back to the midline of your body. Arms tee out, nice and long, palms shine forward, fingers spread wide. Time for a big hug. Bring your arms to embrace your chest. Bring your fingers back towards your spine. Squeeze your shoulders to the side of the room. Elbows are stacked or overlapping a little bit. Open the arms up. Remember which arm was on top. And then do it again on the other side. And then give it a big squeeze and a big extension to the sides of the room with the shoulders. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Release the hug. Find your strap or your towel, and let's do those cow face arms. So maybe take a corner of the towel, bring it into your hand. One elbow comes up toward the sky, hug it in next to your head, take the other hand, reach around and find your towel, and start to floss your shoulders, moving the towel a little bit up and down. Maybe give the towel a good strong pull down. Finish up. Let's do the other side. Towel into the other hand. Hug that elbow in and up toward the sky. Other hand comes around and finds the towel or the strap. Floss the shoulders a little bit, pulling the towel down, and then give the towel a good strong tug. Pull it on down. Finish up. Release the towel. Hands back to your knees. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Take a turn to the right. Bring both hands to the outside of the right thigh. Eyes can be closed. Take a little twist here. Look over your right shoulder, using the hands for a little bit of strength and balance. Turn, turn, turn. Twist, twist, twist as you exhale. Finish up slowly. Come back to the midline. You know where we're going next. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Both hands to the left thigh now and look to the left. Breathe. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And as you're ready, finish up. Come back to the midline. Nice job. Let's do the other side. Undo your legs and switch them out. If you were in Sukhasana, bring the top leg on the bottom and the bottom leg on top. If you want to use the block under the top knee, do that. I'm going to bring the left foot up on top now. Nestle in here, having both bottom cheeks down on the mat, hands on your knees. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, let's lift your arms up, up, up to the sky. Think extended mountain reach. Maybe a bend in the elbows, maybe really, really reach. Interlace your fingers, palms up toward the sky, little gentle movements side to side. Hello to Stan, Lynn, Connell, Pamela, Bert, Tammy, Allison, Maria, Kelly, Mary Jo, Elizabeth, Margaret, Tina, Rena, and Tim. Glad to see you. All right, so sway back and forth. Finish up, hands back to the midline of your body. Now bend your elbows, keeping them spread wide to the side. Just touch the backs of your hands to your head. Gaze is still forward, hands up and down into the shoulders. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Big breath in, big breath out. Lift, lower, elbows spread wide. Finish up, arms down to your knees. Take a big breath in and a big breath out, hinge forward. Keep both bottom cheeks down. Reach your hands to the front of your mat. Maybe you find that block again. Place your hands on it. Send your gaze down, maybe looking towards your ankles or your belly button. Take it as far as is right for you. Big breath in, big breath out. And on the next inhale, bring your arms behind your back. Little bit of a kickstand here. Press your chest on up to the sky. Chin goes there too. Let's do it again. Come back to the midline. Reach your arms forward. Using the block or not, reach, reach, reach forward. Feel it in the left hip if your left leg's on top. Walk the hands on back. Kickstand them back here. Chin up to the sky. Chest lifts too. Big breath in. And big breath out. Finish up. Shoulders over your hips. Hands to your knees. Big breath in to lengthen up. Big breath out to settle in and let the shoulders soften. Tadasana arms. Lift your arms up high to the sky. Maybe eyes remain closed. Bring one arm down to the ground, and that's kind of your kickstand. The arm that's extended, cross it over the midline of your body and adjust the depth of this stretch all up and down your side by bending that foundational elbow. Chin away from your chest, top shoulder back. It's a tough cue. You just gotta do it. Pull that shoulder back. Chin away from the chest. Reach, reach, reach through your fingers and adjust the foundational arm. Maybe come down a little lower. Feel the goodness of the depth of that stretch that's right for you today. Finish up. Come on back to the midline. Right hand or opposite hand comes down. Other arm lifts. And then take the stretch on this side. Shoulder back, chin up. Keep your chin up. Always keep your chin up. Breathe. Back to the center. Both arms lift. Tadasana arms. Do it again. Foundational arm on the first side. Stretch, reach, lengthen through the fingers. Come on back up. Other arm's the foundation. Other arm lifts. Whew. Sway to this side. Stretch, reach. You got it. Little deeper, you can do it. Keep both bottom cheeks down. Adjust the arm that is your foundational arm. And then finish. Come on back up to center. Hands to your knees. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, soften in your shoulders and move your neck. Move your neck however feels good. Maybe it's nice and static. That's fine as you lengthen up. Maybe you're doing neck circles. Maybe you're looking right and left and left and right. Let the tension in the shoulders, in the neck, just let it go. I know, more easily said than done, but just try. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. At the midline of your body, tee out your arms, a big hug time. Press the backs of your hands to the back of your room. Let your arms crisscross in front of your body. Reach your fingers towards your spine. And then let the shoulders soften and expand to the sides of your room. We all need big hugs, right? Open up the arms. Other big hug, other arm on top. Nice big hug here. Squeeze the shoulders, expand the shoulders to the side of the room. Big breath in, big breath out. Cow face time. Hands release. Find your towel or your strap and bring it behind your back. One elbow hugged up toward your ear, toward the sky. Other arm comes around, finds the strap of the towel, and you floss your shoulders. Move the strap up and down, up and down. Give it a good strong tug. Give it a good strong tug with that bottom hand, allowing the elbow that's lifted to the sky to go even higher. Finish up. Bring the arms around. Switch out your strap. Bring the strap or the towel into the one hand. Bring the elbow up to the sky. You can use your hand to adjust it. Bring it on up, hug it on tight. If you don't have a strap or a towel, no big deal. Bring the other arm back and around. Find your strap. Plus your shoulders up and down, up and down. Give it a good strong pull. Feel it in the tricep of the lifted arm. Big breath in, big breath out. Finish. Bring it on down. Hands to your knees, lengthen up. Exhale, soften up in the shoulders. Take a twist to one side or the other. Bring both hands to the outside of the thigh in the direction of which you are twisting. And look over your shoulder, maybe eyes closed or open. Just take this little twist, hollow out your belly, drawing your navel to your spine as you take the twist maybe a little deeper. Just take a few breaths here. Inhale, lengthen your spine to find space. Exhale, twist. Slowly come back, slowly, slowly, slowly. Bring it back to the midline. Hands on your knees, lengthen up. Exhale, soften up. And take the twist to the other side. Both hands to the outside of the other thigh. Look over your shoulder. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. Finish up, slowly come back to the midline. How did you do? Let's take our legs out of whichever position you have them in, and let's find a child's pose. All right, so for your child's pose, let's do a wide-legged child's pose today, if that works for you. And we're going to take it through that evolution, through to a child's pose, to a tadpole, to a full frog. So come to a neutral tabletop, spread your knees a little wide, whatever's good for you, and then bring your big toes to touch. Hips back towards your heels. Maybe you have a block in front of you, and your arms reach to the top of your mat. Maybe you bring your forearms down. Maybe that little bend in the elbows is the ticket for today's practice. Forehead onto the block. Lengthen through your neck, reach through your fingertips as much as is right for you, and sink your tailbone toward the back of the room. Your hips can be resting on your heels or not. You decide what feels good for you. What you're going for here is length from the crown of the head to the tailbone. You can use the block to bring the ground up or not. Bring your forehead down if you like. Lengthen in your spine. Nice bend in your knees. You know, you could have a towel under your knees if that feels better. Your ankles are in a plantar flexion. Breathe here. Find length in your back. As you're ready, if you'd like, spread your knees a little wider. Maybe that's where you want the towel, under the knees to spread them wider. Spread them wider and feel the big stretch in your inner thighs here, in your adductor muscles. Lengthen up and breathe. Big breath in, big breath out. If something is uncomfortable, breathe through it. If it is painful, come out of it. Toes, maybe work them a little further apart now, working your shins a little more parallel to the sides of your mat. Big breath in, big breath out. You can close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose. It helps you focus on your breath. Soften in your jaws. Just breathe. This is your full frog pose. Maybe you're still in child's pose. That's fine too. You do what works for you today. When you're ready, let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Bring your knees in a little bit, or a lot. You decide how far in. Big toes touch. Bring your two blocks to the top of your mat. Let's do some little frog push-ups. So your body's kind of still in that frog position. Weights, we're not using weights today. Blocks up at the top of your mat. Arms are a little further forward than your shoulders. Then you're going to hinge forward, bringing the shoulders over your wrists. Adjust your knees so you're comfortable, and let's do some little frog push-ups. Elbows are hugged in. Bend the elbows and come on down, just to your two blocks. Maybe you adjust the height of your blocks so they're a wee bit higher, and you're just kind of aiming for them. Know that they're there. You're not going to face plant. You can start to remove the blocks, go to one block or no blocks, you decide. So you're strengthening your core here. Little push-ups, right? Like our Chaturanga Dandasana pose that we do other days of the week. So you're doing your little push-ups. Take breaks when you need. Just stay elevated, but the weight is still forward. You're pushed into your arms. Chin comes down, nose comes down, face comes down, little push-ups. Push the earth away. Breathe. Breathe through it. And then finish. Push your hips back to your heels. Arms reach long. Stretch it out. Slide your arms more forward. Breathe. Work your chest down to the mat. Big breath in and big breath out. All right, let's come out of this. Let's go into a neutral tabletop. In your neutral tabletop, let's do cat-cow. This is a protraction and retraction of the shoulders, and you're engaging your core. What does that mean? Draw your navel to your spine. Keep your belly tight. Draw your navel to your spine in your cat pose. Show your shoulders are under or over your wrists. Your hips are over your knees. Tops of your feet are pressed into your mat. Hands are pressed in too. That engages your core as well. Really push into the earth. Almost feel like you're going to levitate. Exhale the air out of your lungs. Tuck your chin to your chest. Tuck your tailbone under. Tuck your navel to your spine. Inhale, cow pose. That's the complementary pose of cat. Crown of the head lifts, tailbone lifts. Do a couple of these. Accentuate the tailbone tucking and the tailbone lifting. Movement in your spine. Keep your spine moving. It's critical. You know that. Some things we just really know. It's just hard to do them, isn't it? All right, cat, cow, cow, cat. Keep at it. Breath is married to the pose. Feel your shoulders as you push away to the earth, tucking the tailbone under. Cow pose, everything goes up. Crown of the head, tailbone. Finish up. Come to your neutral tabletop position. Feel what it feels like to have that core engaged. Stay strong by pushing the earth away. Let's do bird dog pose. Let's begin by lifting the right knee. Lift the right knee up, bringing the knee to about hip height, but dial your right hip down so your hips are equidistant to the mat. Extend through your right leg, driving the heel to the back of the room. Find length there. Feel the strength in your low back. Push into your hands. Maybe lift the left arm and reach forward. Think of lengthening through the crown of your head and through your heel. Lengthen through your fingers a little bit more. Breathe. If you would like, a few times, bend the right knee and the left elbow and tuck them under and touch them to each other underneath your spine. They don't touch, that's fine. Just work at moving them a little bit. And remember, always, use that towel or always bring your blanket maybe and tuck it under the knees if you need it. Breathe. Let's all lengthen here. Lengthen, and then plant the right hand in the left knee. Other side. Left leg lifts. Maybe that's far enough for today. Maybe the knee is bent. The foot is up to the sky. Dial the left hip down. Hold it here while pushing the earth away. Take it further if you want. Left leg extends, drive through the heel. Hold it here. Don't forget to push into the earth. Don't forget to push the bottom right foot, the top of the right foot into the mat. Perhaps right arm extends, you reach, you lengthen. Breathe. Hold it here or do a couple of those tucks. Elbow to knee or toward the knee. Just try. Elbow to knee. Don't forget or don't skimp on the extension when you do that. Elbow to knee and reach and reach and reach. Your spine. Find length, find space. You got it. Finish up. Hand comes down, knee comes down. How did you like the bird dog pose? Let's get into our shoulders again. We warmed them up quite a bit in our Sukhasana pose. Let's do broken wing. All right, for your broken wing, arms go forward. You're going to come down onto your belly. Extend your left arm long. Reach it at about shoulder height on the left side. Right arm bends, hand under the collarbone. Roll onto your left hip. Whew. What do you think? Broken wing. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, or the day before. I get the days confused. We did thread the needle. So maybe you prefer to do that. Same thing, getting into the shoulder, a little kinder, a little gentler maybe. With the right hand, push into the earth. Legs can be long, left arm is extended long, breathe. And there are leg variations you can take here. Leaving the legs long or bending the top leg, placing the sole of the foot behind the extended leg and driving the knee up toward the sky. Or bringing that top leg, sole of the foot in front of your extended left leg, driving the knee up to the sky. You just want to feel a good stretch in your left shoulder. Big breath in, big breath out, finish. Roll onto your belly and do the opposite side. Right arm tees out, bring the hand to about shoulder height. Adjust to what's right for you. Roll onto your right hip. Left arm is under your collarbone so it's nice and bent. And that left arm is your leverage. Push into it to get the nice stretch in the right shoulder. Legs can be any way you want. Remember the variations. Sole of the foot down, knee up toward the sky, behind the right leg, or in front of the right leg. Breathe. Feel the goodness in the shoulder. Use the left hand as leverage. You adjust it to what feels good for you. Breathe. Let go of the tension that you're keeping in your head. The tension in your mind that's saying, I can't do this. Oh, yes, you can. Finish up. Roll onto your belly. Bend both elbows, hands underneath your collarbones. Gaze down to your mat, straighten through the arms. This is your seal pose. Push the earth away. Come on up to a standing on your knees position. Let's do toes pose. All right, I'm going to do a toes pose, ankle pose flow today. You do it any way you like. 2 blocks. Tuck your toes to your shins. 2 blocks, bring the ground up to you. Sit back on your heels. Breathe here. This is an intense pose. Hi, Liz. I'm glad that you're here. I guess you were busy hula hooping, right? All right, you guys got to buy a hula hoop. They're so much fun. You're never too old to hula hoop. All right, so you're sitting on your toes. Breathe here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You could have that block underneath your bottom if you want. But like I said, I'm going to flow it today. And that's just a really nice way to work your ankles. How often do you really work your ankles? You got to work them. They're your strong foundation. Hopefully you work them a lot because you come to yoga every day, right? All right, so you're sitting back on your toes. If it's painful, come out of it. Remember, pain is no good. All right, let's take it to an ankle flow. Bring your tops of your feet onto your mat. With your blocks, walk them back so you're essentially on the tops of your feet. Let your knees come on up. Using the blocks or not. You don't have to use the blocks. They just kind of, sometimes they're nice to bring the ground up to you. You can place your hands on the mat, lean back, stretch out your ankles. Have confidence here. You know, you think, oh, I'm going to fall over. You're not going to fall over. You got your hands behind you. Just kind of roll onto the tops of your feet. Let it feel good. Stretch the ankles. It's so important. I always talk about your core and your foundation. So important. All right, come back to your toes pose when you like, because this is your flow. Make it work for you. Big breaths in, big breaths out. Back to your ankle flow if you like, with or without the blocks. Just really don't listen to me for a moment or two. Just feel what you feel. Take it to the extent that's right for you as you flow through toes and ankles. Soften your shoulders. Find the space that is there and make it work. All right, nice. Okay, ankles feel pretty good. Let's come to a seated position on your bottom. Bring your strap up close to your shoulders, and let's get on and on and on with this. All right, so bound ankle pose. Bend your knees, soles of the feet touch. Let's get into the core. You thought it was going to all be easy today. All right, knees open wide, hands like your feet in prayer. Always a good place to be. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Start to slowly recline. Take it slowly because your core is strong and engaged. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Come all the way down to your back. Bend your knees, bringing your Heels up closer to your groin if that feels good. If it doesn't, work them further away. So you're in your bound angle pose. Arms, tee them out. Bend your elbows, bringing the backs of your hands to your mat. Strike this little kind of a reclined goalpost pose or a goddess pose. Hold it here, breathe here. Let's do some little sit-ups if you would like, or stay right here. Bend your elbows even more, bringing your fingers lightly to your temples. With your fingers lightly at your temples, your elbows are still open wide. Let's do little sit-ups here. As you exhale the air out of your lungs, bring your chin up to the sky. Inhale, come on down. Elbows and knees are open wide. Little lifts, little lowers. You got it. You got it. Out through the mouth. Let some of the heat go. And inhale. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you come on down. All right, core is engaged. Feel your low belly doing the work here. Lift the elbows up. Lift the shoulders up. Little teeny pulses of your chin up, up, up to the sky. Breathe. Finish. Come on down. Shoulders come down. Let's do bicycle pose. Knees come together at the midline of your body. You can keep the soles of your feet down. Put your fingers back to your temples and act as if you're riding a reclined bicycle. Keep this. All right, let's do that first. All right, so drive through your heels. Knees are over hips. Ride, ride, ride here. Drive through your heel. Perhaps you keep the soles of the feet down and you peel your shoulders up. Opposite elbow toward opposite knee. Little twists here. We did deeper twists, so this should be a piece of cake, right? All right, little twists. Elbow toward opposite knee. Put it all together if you like. Knees over hips, shins parallel to the sky, shoulders lifted, elbows back. Ride the bicycle here. Opposite knee toward opposite elbow. Breathe. Drive through the extended leg. Breathe. Kick it up a notch. Straighten the legs and scissor kick them. Breathe. You got it. You can do it. Any way you're doing it is good. You're just doing it. Stick with it. Breathe. Finish. Bend your knees, soles of your feet back on your mat. Arms down by your sides. Let's do boat. Maybe you use your strap. If you like doing it that way, knock your socks off. If you'd like, take your hands behind your knees. Rock and roll up a couple of times. Come on up to your boat pose. In your boat pose. Feet can come down, shoulders are back, chest is lifted, lean back as if you were in a recliner. Bring your legs on up, 1 foot at a time, and hold it here. Breathe. Chest stays lifted as your back is nice and straight. Let's do a different variation of boat. Bring your shins so they're more parallel to the earth. Draw your toes up toward the sky as well. You could set a block. Don't do it, but you could set a block here. Well, I guess maybe you could. Set a block there. Reach your arms towards your toes and hold. When you're ready, draw your elbows back towards your chest and draw your elbows or your knees in a little bit and then extend. Take the hands to the right. Reach, 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 and then draw the elbows in. Draw the knees in as well. And reach and extend. Reach and extend. Back to center. Reach and extend. Reach and retract. Take the hands to the outside of the opposite knee. Reach and then draw it in and then extend. Back to center. Reach, draw it in and extend and finish. All right, feet come down. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's do it another way. Come onto your side. Come onto your side and do your setup here. Elbow under the shoulder, forearm pressed into your mat. You're on your elbow. Take your legs, extend them long, then bring them out so they're about 30 degrees out from your body. Breathe here, lift the legs up. Bring them on down, lift them up. The left arm can be a kickstand, or bring it to your waist and feel the whole side body working to lift your legs. You're nice and stable here. Lift and lower. Let's lift the legs up. Keep them up and start to pulse them up. Breathe. Strong core. You got it. Breathe. Lift them a little higher. Hold them up. Ankles, feet touch. Lift them. Breathe. You got it. Finish. Legs come down. Other side. Come on over to the other arm. Elbow under the shoulder, forearm pressed into the mat. Fingers spread wide, legs long. Bring them to about 30 degrees in front of your body. Top arm can be a little kickstand. Lift the legs up, maybe just hold them here. Hand can go to your waist as you feel real tightness here because your core is engaged. You're using your core to lift your legs. Maybe a few lifts and lowers here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Maybe lift them a little higher, maybe pulse. Ooh, pinch the side of your waist. Feel the tight contraction here. Breathe, breathe. Lift and lower, lift and lower, lift, hold, finish. Come on down, fully reclined, on your back. Time for a break. Not. Come on down. Maybe you want to take a break. Legs can be long. You can come into a pentacle pose, sending your arms and legs wide to the corners of the room. I'm going to do hundreds. Join me if you like. Arms down by your sides. Wiggle your shoulders so they're comfortable on your mat. Maybe lift your legs up and just hold them here. Strong core is engaged. Maybe add in the shoulders, or maybe just do the shoulders. Arms lifted, start to pat the ground. A Pilates pose here. Soften in your glutes, keep your tailbone plugged in. Pat the ground, breathe, stay lifted. Take breaks when you need to. Maybe bring the legs down, maybe bring the shoulders down, maybe stay in pentacle. You do what you like, do what speaks to you today. Hundreds, hundreds, hundreds. We're gonna take a break in a bit. Breathe, fingers reach to the bottom of the mat. Breathe, breathe, maybe lift the legs a little higher. And then finish, come on down. Pentacle pose, if you like. You have a choice here. You can stay in this pentacle pose, this resetting pose, or you can come to standing and do some balancing with me. Staying in pentacle is a great place to be. All right, if you want to do standing, arms down by your sides, legs together. Think of that strong core. Come on up to a seated position. Work your legs around and come on up to standing. Try not to use your hands. Come on up to standing. Let's do a standing pentacle. All right, standing pentacle. All right, spread your legs wide. This is called a 5-pointed star when you're standing. Legs spread wide, arms reach high. Whew, 5-pointed star. Let's do Pasarita Padahastasana. So lengthen up through your spine and the crown of your head. Now tee out your arms. Exhale the air out of your lungs. Hinge forward. Hinge forward, back is straight. Once you get past that straight point, bend your hands behind your calves. Hands behind your calves, fold forward, breathe. Crown of the head toward the earth. Maybe work your feet a little farther apart. Hands down toward the earth, breathe. Let's tee out the arms again. Fingers reach to the side of the room. Come on back up to a standing position. Bring your hands now to prayer center. Let's do horse. All right, so in your horse pose, legs are spread nice and wide. Maybe your heels are in a little bit more than your toes. Bend into your knees, driving the backs of your knees to the back of your room. Lengthen up through the shoulders. Real attractive pose, right? But how strong for your strong quads, your strong legs. Let's do some balancing. Lift your heels up. Shoulders are over your hips. Hold it here. Maybe sink a little bit lower like you're riding a big old Clydesdale horse, right? Breathe. Gaze forward. Hold your steady concentration. You are really working the thighs. You are really working your balance. You are really working the glutes. Feel those big, strong muscles. Let's start to alternate with heel touchdowns. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Come on up to the balls of your feet like Barbie doll toes, right? Sink a little bit lower and then pulse, pulse, pulse. Shoulders are over your hips, pulse it down. You don't have to go very far. Just breathe and know that you're strengthening your backside. Breathe. Maybe you're still enjoying your pentacle pose on the ground. Nothing wrong with that. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, heels come down, legs straighten. Back to that 5-pointed star. Wiggle your hips. Palms meet overhead. One foot meets the other. Ragdoll. Gotta work in ragdoll. Hinge forward at the waist. Toe heel your feet, hip width distance. Reach your fingers toward the earth or reach your hands toward opposite elbows. Feet are hip width distance apart. Gaze is down to your knees or up toward your navel. Little bend in your knees might feel good. Start to gently sway from side to side, one elbow to one side, then the other. Breathe. You know, even if you're only doing 10% of the depth of the practice, that's 10% better than if you were doing nothing at all. All right, let's finish up. Back at the midline, release your fingers to the mat. When you're ready, slowly roll your spine on up, one vertebra at a time. A little more standing, then we'll meet our friends back in that pentacle pose. All right, so let's do Tadasana. Arms extend high, reach through your fingers. Staying right here is good. Now, you can stay right here or lift your right leg up. A little bit of weight out of the right leg, or another layer to take it, bring the knee up to hip height, draw the toes toward the shin. Here you are in your one-legged mountain. Now we're going to use the arms. Keep the arms long and reaching toward the sky. Lengthen up through your hips and the crown of your head. The right arm, bring it on down nice and straight, sweep it on down toward the earth, sweep it onto the back wall, while the left arm sweeps to the front. Gaze over your right shoulder, look as far back to the right as you'd like. Breathe here. Right arm, sweep it around to meet that arm that's reaching to the front, parallel arms. Bring them up to the sky. Now it's the left arm's turn. Sweep it around to the back. Reach the right arm to the front. If you fall out, no big deal. Get right back in and look to the left. Take the twist as deep as is right for you. Come back to the midline. Left arm meets right. Arms go back up. Do it again. Sweep one arm back to the right. Sweep the other arm up front. Look over the shoulder of the arm that's reaching back. Sweep the arms forward. Sweep them on up. Lengthen up. Sweep the other arm to the back. Twist in that direction while the other arm reaches forward. Breathe. Sweep the back arm to meet the front. Sweep it on up to your one-legged mountain. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Right leg comes down to meet the left. Other side. Lengthen up through your Tadasana. Maybe stay right here. Lengthen up through the hip, the crown of the head, and lift the left leg to what feels right for you. Maybe hold here in your one-legged mountain. Breathe. Now do the arms. One arm goes to the back of the room. Look toward it as the other arm reaches to the front. Stretch, reach, twist. You got it. Both arms reach to the front. Both arms reach up. Find your length. Other arm reaches to the back. Other arm reaches to the front. Twist and look to the arm that's reaching back. Gaze back to front. Arms are parallel to each other, reaching forward. Reach them on up and do it again. Lengthen up first, reset, restart. One arm sweeps back, one arm goes forward. Look to the arm at the back. Sweep the arms forward and up. Opposite arm goes back, opposite arm goes forward. Take the twist in your balance. Finish up, arms reach forward, arms reach up. Lengthen up, hands to prayer center. Plant the foot, you did it. Oh my gosh, that was a challenge. All right, let's go back down to the ground. Arms reach toward the earth. If you stayed in pentacle, I bet you're really glad, right? Gaze back to your knees. Put a bend in your knees. Come on down. Let's all meet in a Superman pose with those W arms. All right, so if you're in pentacle, arms come down by your sides, legs come together, roll over onto your belly. All right, for your Superman pose, let's come on down to our bellies. Arms reach long to the top of your mat. Legs are long on your mat. Spread them a little bit so the tops of your feet are at the edges of your mat. Gaze is down at the center of your mat. Lift one leg or the other. You know, an alternating leg lifts is good. Feel the compression of your low back and the strengthening there. Maybe lift both legs up. Maybe add in the arms and reach. Fly like Superman as you balance on your pelvis. Fingers spread wide. Bend your elbows, down, down, down. Have them reach toward the bottom corners of your mat as you bring your arms into a letter W shape. Reach again through your Superman. Bend the elbows, reach, reach, reach toward the bottom of your room. Arms in a W shape. Fly like Superman through extended fingers, thighs lifted. Bring them on back down. W shape in the arms. Bring the arms on back up. Bring the arms on back down. Squeeze through the elbows. Lift through the chest. Gaze down your nose. There's your Superman. Finish. Hands underneath your collarbones. When you're ready, press on up through straightened arms. Gaze down your nose. Come on up to standing on your knees. As you come to standing on your knees, let's bring our hands to our low back. Squeeze your elbows towards your spine. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe look overhead and breathe. No farther than that today. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Finish up. Come on down to seated. With your legs long, place a block underneath your feet. Imagine, if you switch things up, imagine you'd be standing on this block and you're like hinging forward, right, in the shoulders. Reach your arms forward so your body kind of looks like a U shape on its side. Reach through your fingers. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Hollow out your belly. Core is tight. Navel is to the spine. Reach. Maybe you reach and can touch your calves, your ankles, or maybe today you reach for that block. Bring your gaze now down to your knees. Breathe. A little bend in your knees might feel good. Finish. Shoulders up over your hips. Spread your legs wide. Block between your legs. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, reach forward. Not reach forward, hinge forward, placing your forearms on the blocks. Whatever setup is right for you today. Or maybe bring your forehead down to your blocks. A little bend in your knees might feel right. Take it to the level that feels good for you today. Finish up. Pretty quick. We're just moving through things. This is flexibility and mobility. If you like to hold poses longer, bring your legs back to the midline of your body. If you like to hold poses longer, do our restorative practice on Thursday or Sunday. All right. Strong core. Let's come into a plank. Surprise, surprise, right? Let's do side plank today. Elbow under the shoulder. I'm going to set a 1-minute timer for you to time yourself. It's only for you to, take little measurement criteria. You can stay down on your hip, elbow underneath the shoulder, forearm pressed into the mat. You can stay down here if you want. You can pop on up, staying down on that bottom knee, extending the top leg. You can stay there. Or you can take a full side plank. Take the variation that's right for you. Let's set the timer now. Press on up, hold here. If you're in a full side plank, maybe bring your hand to your hip. Your elbow is underneath your shoulder. Legs are long. Ankles are stacked. We're 10 seconds in. Ankles are stacked, or you can kickstand them if you prefer. Top arm, you can lift it up to the sky. Hold it here. We're 20 seconds in. You could also kickstand with that front arm. Let it be. If you need to take a little break, let the hips come down, take a breath or two, and then pop right on back up. We're halfway there, 30 seconds. Arm lifted, maybe gaze up to the hand, press firmly into your foundational arm. You got it. 20 seconds to go. We can do this. You got only 15 to go. Stay strong. You are strong. Everything is engaged in your core poses. 10, 9, 8, 7. Come on. Don't give up now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Oh my goodness. Come on down. All right. Other side. Let's do it. You didn't think we were going to do plank today, huh? All right. Elbow under shoulder. Finger spread wide. Let's do it. Press on up, timer. Let's go. Please, timer. There. 1 minute. Hold here. Take what is right for you. You are stronger than you think. You really are. We're all in this game together. This game of life, right? Sometimes it's hard. You're 15 seconds in. Sometimes it's really hard. But you got to face the hard, right? Do what you can with what you got. And realize that you're doing better than you think. We're 30 seconds in. Hold here. Take the breaks when you need them. Take the variations you need. And just be kind to this one and only body of yours. Arms reach, 20 seconds to go. Press into the earth. Hold here. You got it. We got a really fun way to finish today, so stick with it for these 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Come on down. All right. Whew. Take a break with your blocks. Let's come on down. Find your eye shade. Bring it on up by your shoulders. Find your 2 blocks. Bend your knees and come on down to reclined. All the way reclined. Knees are bent. Press into your feet. Slip the 2 blocks under your big old bottom or your little young bottom, whatever. Slide it under and let your bottom rest on the blocks. Pontoon pose. Send your legs long. Legs are long. Stretch out the front of your hips. Arms wherever you want them to be. Teed out, kind of in a letter Y shape. Maybe they're more down by your side. Breathe. Your eye shade, your towel. Maybe cover your eyes. If you don't like the blocks under your bottom in this pontoon pose, ditch them and come to your final Shavasana pose. In your final Shavasana pose, legs are a little spread. Arms can be down by your side, palms up or down. You can have nothing at all here, just you and contact with the earth. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And I hope, and if you've hung around this long for the practice, that you know it's not about doing everything necessarily. It is only about doing what works for you. Breathe. Now here's the treat at the end. You can stay here in your final Shavasana. You can stay in your pontoon pose, or bend your knees, lift your legs on up to the sky, and take this little modified legs up the wall pose. All right, draw your toes maybe toward your shins, heels up to the sky. And if you don't like it, take the variation that speaks for you, that speaks to you. Big breath in. Big breath out. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Let your eyes rest heavily in the eye sockets. And you may have just discovered your new favorite final Shavasana pose, right? Deep breaths. Take care of you. You got to take care of you before you take care of anybody else. It's not selfish, it's self-care. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And you don't have to keep your legs lifted if you don't like it. You could bring your legs on back down. You could then transition into your final Shavasana. You gotta do you. Soft shoulders, weightlessness in the legs. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Re-soften the area between your eyebrows. Shoulders are soft as well. They're not holding on to anything. You don't have to hold on to anything. Just let the blood circulate to the upper part of your body. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Find a little more softness in your knees if you're in your legs up the knot wall pose. wrap up our hour pretty soon. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Maybe turn your head from right to left and left to right, massaging the back of your skull into your mat. Maybe work the ear toward the mat as you take the twist a little deeper in the neck, if that feels good for you. Bring the head back to the midline of the body. And you can do this in any of the variations we're in. You can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. They worked hard today. Toes worked hard in that toes pose. Work the motion up into your feet and your hands. Spread your toes and fingers wide. Circle the wrists and the ankles in all kinds of different directions. Get mobility going there. If your legs are lifted, bend your knees. Send your legs long on your mat. And everybody take a big good morning stretch, reaching the arms high overhead and the toes pointing toward the bottom of the mat. Stretch it out, breathe it out. And then bend your knees and your elbows and roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. If you're on the blocks, press into your feet and slip the blocks away. Roll onto one hip or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your lovely head. Knees slightly bent. You're comfortable in this little fetal position. Deep breath in. Deep, slow breath out. As you're ready, after you've savored a breath or two here, slowly, gently press on up, maybe keeping your eyes closed to a comfortable seated position. Use your hands if you want to, or no hands at all. Just know what you're doing. If you're not using your hands, say, I'm not going to use my hands today. Don't just purposely always push up with your hands. Find your strength in your strong core. Have a seat in a comfortable position, hands to prayer center. Lengthen up through your spine with a big breath in, and soften up as you exhale and let the shoulders relax. Big breath in, and big breath out. Big breaths today, do those. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it, an hour-long practice. However you did it, it was just perfect because you did it your way, and that's what matters. Each of us is unique, and each of us is different. We're all on this same journey, but you gotta make it right for you. Stress number you took in the beginning, what was it? And what is it now? Good, I'm glad it's lower. All right, be kind to others on this journey of life today, and be especially kind to that reflection in the mirror. Have a good day, everybody. Love you guys. See you on your mats tomorrow. Now you guys can come here. Come on, what was up with you? Come on, Piper. Bonnie, come. Come here, Bonnie. They get so hyper. They know when the camera goes on, don't you? Anyway, God bless them. Have a good day, everybody. Bye. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. You're just... Bonjour, mes amis. I am still in France and loving every minute of it. And I hope that you are loving every minute of your yoga. I'll be back with you soon. But in the meantime, here are some of the adventures that I've been having.